Very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is 10 July 2025, Thursday class. So as usual, we will be sharing from our this book unique quote straight from the heart, unique Dhamma quote straight from the heart. We are at unique quote 157. As usual, we gather for physical puja. Come. Let us compose our mind, develop the Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the Puja chanting. Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 本师释迦牟尼佛 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨 Namo 观世音菩萨南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无文殊菩萨，南无文殊菩萨。南无文殊菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。阿拉汉萨玛萨布多巴嘎瓦，布当巴嘎วัน当阿毗瓦提米。Swakato bhagavata dhammo dhammang namassami Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho sanghang namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Dutiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Tiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Tatiyampi Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi Pāṇātipātā veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyāmi Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Kamesu miccacara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Surameraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami Gandha sarappaditthena dipena hang tamadangsina diloka dipang sambuddhaṃ Pujayami tamonudang Gandha sambara yuttena Duppena hang sugang hina Puja ye puja niyantang puja bhajana muttamang vanna gandha guno petang petang kusuma santatin pujayami munindasa siri pada sarorohe pujemi buddhang kusumena nena punnena mattena ca hotu mokhang pang milayati yata idang me kayo tatayati vinasa bhavang adivase tuno bante paniyang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu mutamang adivase tuno bante pale parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu mutamang adivase tuno bante bojanang parikapitang anukampang upadaya patigan hatu mutamang. Now we shall chant the Puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these Puja offerings. Significance of offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of all defilements within our mind. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the Dana Parami of generosity and the fruit of karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Okay, making of oral aspiration. By the power of all these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Sada, Virya, Sati, Samadhi and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers. Sharing and transfer of merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, we pay our respect to the Triple Gem. Buddhang Pujemi. Dhammang Pujemi. Sanghang Pujemi. To develop this awareness-based meditation, we need to have the four support so that it can help us develop it. as the word awareness-based meditation, it is different from the usual thought-based meditation, where you use thought heedlessly. So when you develop this inner awareness, it is just the pure awareness nature without thought. And awareness-based meditation means you have to stabilize this inner awareness so that you can be in this state most of the time. So when you are aware, that is sati. When there is sati, there is meditation. Without sati, you cannot meditate. So according to Lord Buddha, to meditate, we need to have this mind, which he called the silent mind without thought, the pure awareness nature that can allow us to see things as they are, to insight into phenomena, and to awaken to the universal characteristics of anicca, dukkha, and anatta, and also awaken to all the truth that manifests within our form and mind and within nature. That's why awareness-based meditation is very important. When we are aware, we are not only mindful, we are ever mindful. When you are ever mindful, you are without thought. Then you can really develop the understanding through the direct seeing, through insight into phenomena, through awakening. That's why the true meditative training is to develop heedfulness. To be heedful, you have to be ever mindful, followed by using that mind that is ever mindful to develop the meditation as taught by the Buddha, which he called the Noble Eightfold Path. That's why under Dhammapada verse 23, which is the topic we are going to delve in today, the Buddha said, the constantly meditative and the ever mindful, if you stick on to these two practices, you will realize the supreme enlightenment, Nibbana. So without this heedfulness, you cannot develop it. So to be constantly meditative, you need this pure awareness nature that is stable to meditate. So to develop this stability of awareness within, we have to develop initially the mindfulness, sati, then stabilize it so that you are ever mindful, constantly meditative. Combining these two is heedfulness. That's why awareness-based meditation is very important. So what you need to do is just relax body and mind completely. Then don't try to know, don't try to do anything. Maintain inner peace, inner silence, inner tranquility. Whatever arises, just let it arise and let it cease or pass away without entangling yourself with the thought process, without giving meaning. Just maintain awareness. Aware, finish. Whatever arises within our sixth sense door, upon contact, consciousness comes to be. So at the moment of consciousness, you just aware. Then whatever that arises after that, don't try to know, don't try to do anything, just let it settle. Let it resolve itself. Allow the mundane thinking to settle down, slow down, until finally it returns to its original state before the stirring, before the reaction of mind, before the sankhara activity move and get itself entangled. That's why the four support is very important. First support, relax body and mind. Second support, maintain the inner awareness. So when you do that, your mind does not think where is in a state of relaxation, is at ease. Then you maintain awareness within. It's just aware, finish. Then the third support is to continue to stabilize this inner awareness by not doing anything, by just seeing things as they are, allow it to be, and see it clearly. If you don't do anything, what will happen to the mundane thinking, the mundane activity within the mind? It will just slow down on its own and finally cease to return to its original state of mind before the stirring. This original state is your silent mind, your true mind, the pure awareness nature within. It is the primordial before the arising of thought, before the stirring and the reaction. So our main intent is to stabilize this inner awareness. It can be done very easily. Relax body and mind, which means you don't think, you just relax. Maintaining awareness, also you don't think, just aware. Whatever happen, arise, aware, finish. Let it settle down. Then continue to stabilize this inner awareness by being aware continuously. If you can do that, you will progress. Then after that, when you have stabilized your inner awareness, when you have the ability to be with your silent mind most of the time, and that is the time you can move on to the fourth support, which is trust. Trust. Trust your inner nature to develop the meditative movement on its own. You just silence everything, relax, stay at the heart area. Then allow the nature within to move by itself. By doing that, your true mind that has the stability developed will move on its own. Then when it moves on its own, when the causes and condition is there, it will locate the gateway to your nature, and it will trigger off the manifestation of the inner movement of awareness. That nature will detect whatever that vibrate and move. It can be a heartbeat or any vibration within your heart area or physical body. Then it makes you sensitive. Then when you are able to detect any of this vibration or even your heartbeat, silence everything and stay there and observe, find out what happened. Then a lot of things will happen. Then it will move by itself. It will develop the transformation by itself. Initially, what will happen is when it detects the gateway, all of your external yin-yang energy that you have developed through your mind-based or thought process, they will melt inside that gateway to your nature. And when they go through the gateway, the yin-yang energy will be neutralized into pure energy, which is neither positive or negative. And that pure energy is wisdom energy. It will move by itself. It will transform itself. It will activate whatever that it needs to activate within your nature. Okay, I will let you meditate on your own. Then I will set the alarm for 30 minutes. Okay, you all can slowly, mindfully come out of your meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you all have developed for as long as you can. These are the meditative mind state, the inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have to stabilize and develop the daily mindfulness until the inner awareness or mindfulness is very stable. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in their entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chilkawalisu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhamman Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavido Nutaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Kaliko Ehipaseko Opanaiko Pajatang Veditabo Vinohiti Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Cattari Purisa Yukani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakeneyo Anjali Karaneyo Anutarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Unique Dhamma Code 157 is on page 44 of this book. Straight from the heart, unique Dhamma Code. So this unique code is the definition of what heedfulness is. So I define here the meaning of heedfulness or apamada as per Dhammapada verse 23 as proclaimed by the Buddha. So according to Lord Buddha, the constantly meditative, so this is one of the very important aspects of heedfulness. If you are not constantly meditative, you are not in heedfulness. Then second part is ever mindful, and the steadfast one. If you hold on to these two practices, you will realize the bond-free supreme Nibbana. Hence, heedfulness is equal to ever mindful plus constantly meditative. Constantly meditative means constantly cultivating the Noble Eightfold Path factor while in the midst of life. Means you must be ever mindful in the midst of life throughout the day, even in the formal meditation or formal posture, where you can meditate in a formal meditation, or while living life, while going through life, while in the midst of life, you need to be ever mindful. So to be ever mindful, the first thing we need to train is mindfulness. Once you are mindful, then you stabilize it, it becomes ever mindful. So that is the first thing you have to do. That's why awareness-based meditation is to develop this inner awareness, then stabilize it, so that you are ever mindful. When you are ever mindful, you are meditating, because that mind that is ever mindful is without thought. When it is without thought, it can see things as they are, whatever that move, whatever that arise and pass away, it can see things as they are. That is the reality. That is what truth is. To understand truth is to understand the reality within the moment. Whatever that can explain the way things are is the truth. So this truth can only be observed via the silent mind, in pure awareness. Because all these are without words, without concept, idea, or thought process. They are the pure mind in pure awareness to see all the movement and activity. Then when you use this to observe, then you will develop wisdom, understanding. You can see things as they are clearly, and you will develop the awakening. You will insight into phenomena, their universal characteristic, and also how they come to be, and how they arise, how they cease to be. Then through this observation, you will come to know clearly who are you, what are you, and how you function as a human being, how you arise your thought, how you become conscious, and how you interact with nature, with fellow living beings, how you stir your mind, how you react to sense experience, how all these mind states which are dependent originating arise. That's why once you develop the ability, you will understand the teaching. When you know clearly who you are, what you are, then you understand what the Buddha meant by the first Noble Truth final summary. He said, in short, it is due to living beings Sakkayaditi, self-delusion, that condition them to grasp at the five aggregate of form and mind, leading to suffering. That's why the five aggregates, the grasping aggregate, born of Sakkayaditi, is dukkha. Then when you start to see the universal characteristic of the five aggregate, then you realize they are not a permanent unchanging entity. They are dependent originating. They have the universal characteristics of impermanent, following nature's law. When you want things in a way which is not in accordance with nature's condition and law, the Pancha-niyama, then suffering will be the result. Then the third characteristic is, because it's impermanent, it's not a permanent unchanging entity for you to cling on to, grasp onto, hold onto, and say, this is me. Therefore all this can be owned, can be possessed, is mine. These are illusion, delusion. So ability to observe, see and awaken to all this truth will lead to wisdom. Then you will root out Sakkayaditi, self-delusion. Then you know within the five aggregate of form and mind, he know you, he know me. But there is such a thing as a human being, a living being, that manifests through the karmic process, through the karmic nature, with its karmic conditioning. Then this karmic nature or karmic activity, they follow the law of karma. They manifest in accordance with causes and conditions. That's why the Buddha say, the law of karma is very, very abstract, very complicated, very profound, very difficult to comprehend. It can only be comprehended by the wise one, the great beings, and Sammasa Buddha. Then this law of karma, they manifest in such manner that living beings find it very difficult to comprehend. That's why the Buddha defined what this thing is. He said, each and every one of us living beings, we are born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditioned and supported by our karma. We are what we are because of our karma. And we reap what we sow. You plant the seed of evil, you will reap the fruit of evil. You plant the seed of wholesomeness, you will reap the fruit of wholesomeness. And the karmic law is very powerful. Whatever thought process that has the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion will lead to karmic negativity, will lead to suffering. That's why Dhammapada verse 1 and 2 points out clearly what are the two mind states that one can develop. Under the twin verse, Dhammapada verse 1 and 2, the Buddha says, our mind, which is the mundane mind, conditioned arising mind, that spin off from the true mind, the pure awareness nature, or that primordial true mind, the true nature within, which is just pure awareness. But from there, it can create mundane thinking, mundane activity, mundane movement of thought process. So he called that mind the mano, and we call it the mind, the mundane mind. He said this mind, or mundane mind, or the thinking mind, is the forerunner of all things. When this mind arises, all creation arises, all things arise. That's why mind make our day. And when you comprehend this, you will penetrate his teaching. That's why he said, once you know this, then you must not be heedless. He said, if you are heedless, if you are to act, speak and think with a heedless mind that has the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion, then suffering will follow you, like the wheel that follows the hoof of the cart. Whereas the twin verse, opposite verse, Dhammapada verse 2, the Buddha proclaimed the same. He said, this mind is the forerunner of all things. This mind is chief. When this mind arises, all things arise. That's why you have to develop the heedfulness, the mindfulness, the awareness, to make sure you act, speak and think with a heedful mind that is free from the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion. And then happiness will follow you like the shadow that never leaves you. So Dhammapada verse 1 and 2 is very clear. He said, we hold the key to our own life destiny, each and every one of us. To be happy or unhappy is our choice. If you choose not to train your mind, you choose to be heedless, then suffering will follow you, where you will act, speak and think with a heedless mind that has the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion. But if you understand the danger of this karmic negativity via heedlessness, then you will develop heedfulness to be fully aware and to act, speak and think with a wholesome mind, free of all the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion. Then happiness will follow you like the shadow that never leaves you. Which means, if you are wise enough, the wise will intend on heedfulness and they will rejoice in the rhyme of the Aryas. That's why heedfulness is very important. So, to develop heedfulness, we need to train ourselves. First is to be aware or mindful. Then stabilize it to be ever mindful. Then use that mindfulness or the heedfulness, the stability of it, to meditate, to insight into phenomena, to awaken, to see things as they are, to realize the truth, to cultivate basically the Noble Eightfold Path, to develop all the right views with regards to the law of karma, law of mind, and law of truth, through direct seeing, observation, and awakening. Then after that, develop the other Eightfold Path factors. From right view, it will allow you to arise the right thought, right speech, right action, and right livelihood, and the four right effort. Where all these are wholesome, without negativity. That's why once you cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path, you will have right view to enable you to have the wisdom to understand life, to live life. Then you will develop all the virtue and you will have your precepts, sila, without delusion. That's why you will have right thought, leading to right speech and right action. No more action, speech and thought that has karmic negativity. Then the way you live your life is in accordance with the right view, right thought, right speech and right action. That's why you will have right livelihood or right living. Then the four right effort is to help you to purify your thought process. The right effort to abandon the wrong thought, wrong speech and wrong action. Then the right effort to prevent this wrong thought, wrong speech and wrong action from arising. Then the third right effort is to cultivate the virtuous thought, the wholesome thought, all the right thought that are still not in you. whatever virtue, like your sincerity, your honesty, your humility, your respect, your whatever they call it, gratitude, generosity. All these are virtuous thought, kind thought. Means your loving kindness, your compassion, your wisdom, whatever that leads to wholesomeness. Then after that, the final right effort is to refine upon all this right thought, right speech, and right action that you have developed. Then perfect them all until they become powers. They become a part of you, part of your nature. That's how the Noble Eightfold Path fall into place. Then to develop this, the last two path factor is samasati, right mindfulness or right awareness. And the stability of it is right samadhi. When your mind have this stability of mindfulness, it is collected and unwavering. And that is what samadhi is. Then when it is collected and unwavering, it will not waver in the midst of life. At the moment of sense experience, you will see things as they are, you will hear things as they are, smell, taste, tactile feel, and arise the thought process with stability. The mind does not stir, does not waver, it does not create emotion, fear, worry, anxiety, anger, hatred. All these mind states which are negative, having the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, will not arise. That's why it's collected and unwavering. So you must have sati and samadhi. Sati allows you to see things as they are, insight into phenomena, and awaken to the truth. Then samadhi allows you to have the stability of mind state while living life. When you have samadhi, you can see things as they are. Your mind will not stir based on your own wrong view and delusion. That's how the Noble Eightfold Path develops the training to become enlightened. So heedfulness is ever mindful and constantly meditative. To be ever mindful, I repeat, you have to train your mind to be aware, mindful first. That's why awareness-based meditation can lead to the state of mind that is ever mindful. Then use it to meditate. Use it to observe, to insight into phenomena, to see things as they are, to awaken. Means to realize the nature's spiritual law that governs life and existence. Then through this observation, you know who are you, what are you, and how you function as a human being. How your mundane mind, the thinking mind, operate following the Paticca the law of dependent origination, the dwelling. Then also you can observe the law of karma, how living beings entangle themselves through their own heedlessness and delusion. Then the law of karma is you reap what you sow. When you have developed the wisdom, the ability to observe, you will come to understand why living beings are the way they are. How does they suffer? How does they entangle themselves through the karmic process? Then how karma manifests and cause all their suffering and misery. You see them very clearly. Then you see the law of Paticca, how dependent on ignorant avijja, you create sankhara activity. There's an avijja paccaya sankhara. To create sankhara or thought or thinking, you must go to the brain. That's why you go to the brain, you think, means you make contact with the brain. Every moment of contact will trigger off the consciousness. That's why avijja pacaya sankhara, sankhara pacaya vijnana, which is the thought consciousness. At that stage, the content of consciousness haven't gone in. The mind hasn't stirred and react through memory, through wrong view, through your sakayaditi and delusion. But the moment you input the content, the vijnana, which is consciousness, become namarup or namarupa, the second aspect of the five aggregate of form. That is your thought. That is the one that has karmic consequence. It depends on how you input your content, whether it's moral or immoral. This will condition the karmic activity. That's why when namarup or the five aggregate of form and mind, the second aspect, thought arise, it will continue the movement until the karmic consequence takes its full effect. That's why suffering will arise for those who are deluded and without the Dhamma understanding. Then from that link, which is namarup, the Buddha continued. He said, dependent on this five aggregate of form and mind, the second aspect, the thought, there must be sense bases, otherwise they cannot arise. That's why the Buddha in his teaching is it, when there is contact between the sense bases, the sense data, and the conscious mind, what happens is like the physics experiment. Upon contact, the light bulb lights up. The lighting up of the light bulb is like you become conscious. Conscious of what? If it's a seeing activity from the eye, EYE, then you become conscious of what you see. That's why he said, in the seeing, there is only the consciousness that manifests. Before you input your content of consciousness through your habitual tendency, wrong view, delusion. Then when you are with that pure consciousness, that is the third link, pure vijnana. The moment you input your content of consciousness, it becomes a thought. That's why namarup, the second aspect of the five aggregate, arise. So he said, for this to arise, there must be sense bases, otherwise they cannot arise. That's why the fifth link is namarupa pacaya salayatana. Then dependent on sense bases, salataya pacaya contact. Contact is called passa. There will be contact. There will be, in Pali is called passa. When there is contact, it will condition feeling, vedana. So initially, the feeling that arises is pure feeling. But because of your ignorance, your sakayaditi, your habitual tendency, you stir. Then vedana pacaya tanha, it becomes craving. And this craving is the one that causes your karmic negativity to arise. It can be sensual craving, craving to be or not to be, means kama tanha, or bhava tanha, or vibhava tanha. Kama tanha is sensual craving, both positive and negative, means like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience is equivalent to your sensual desire, you will do. These are the duality. That's why sensual desire has two aspects, positive and negative, and it's a mental hindrance. So all this you start to understand. Then when you are so deluded, craving is conditioned into grasping. Tanha pacaya upadan or upadana is not only the strong craving, it can be conditioned into grasping. You grasp at that desire. Then from grasping, it will condition you into what they call that thing. Means you become that thing. That's why upadana pacaya becoming is bhava. Bhava. Then becoming will condition birth, transgression. You take birth and acted out of it. That's how the karmic process comes to be. Hence arise the whole mass of suffering. And this is how your mind works. How living beings develop that movement to arise suffering. But all this without mindfulness, without the Dhamma understanding, you cannot see. You cannot be at the moment of sense experience. You cannot develop the understanding to arise the wisdom and the moment of sense experience, which is yoniso manasikara. Without yoniso manasikara, you cannot cut a feeling, you cannot stop a feeling. Your mind will stir. It will condition you into craving. Then you become. Craving will condition grasping, then it will condition becoming. And finally, you become, you are born into that thing, which is transgression. So this is how heedfulness can bring about all this understanding. Then the other aspect is the Dhamma Niyama, the third spiritual law, the law of truth. When you understand all this, you will understand the Four Noble Truths. Because the Four Noble Truths talks about the reality of life and existence. Then when you observe in life how all this manifests to the dwelling, paticca samuppada, you will finally come to understand why the Four Noble Truths is like that. The reality of life and existence, if you live life long enough, you will confront all this reality. And when you confront them with delusion, sakkaya, without the Dhamma understanding, and the main culprit is sakkaya, self-delusion, believing that you are real. The five aggregate of form and mind is a permanent, unchanging entity, and you think that is what you are. That's why that grasping, that clinging, that holding on to the phenomenal world of consciousness, that is the cause of delusion. And from there, the karmic process continues. That's why every moment, every instant, you will be subject to the karmic law. That's why the Buddha said we are all born of our karma, heir to our karma, conditions supported by our karma, and we are what we are because of our karma. You cannot see all this clearly and understand this karmic movement process, you will be trapped. And the moment you are trapped, you cannot escape. You will be entangled into this conditioned world, or the phenomenal world of consciousness. This is where everything manifests. This is the conditioned world that lure you, entice you, and is very chaotic here. A lot of suffering, a lot of war, a lot of conflict, a lot of negativity of mind state. But it is also within here that people can develop the cultivation, the understanding and awaken. That's why this is the best place to cultivate. Because both good and evil, they are there, they manifest there. Then from here, for those who cultivate and develop the understanding, they see clearly how this thing arises from here. Because we have the five aggregate of form and mind with the sense basis, that upon contact, consciousness arises. That's why from the five aggregate of form and mind, with the sense basis. Upon contact, it triggers consciousness. And this consciousness is what the phenomenal world of consciousness is all about. That's why all the delusion manifests here. And the Buddha said, consciousness is like a magician. It creates illusion for you. This is an illusionary world, existential world, condition arising world. And this is the one that can trigger a lot of wrong view, delusion. Living being will grasp, cling and hold, because this is very luring, enticing. Not knowing that it's chaotic. A lot of problem inside there. Yeah. That's why when you grasp, hold and cling and give meaning to everything that manifests within the conditioned world, means you don't have the Dhamma. You cannot see things as they are. You cannot awaken to the truth and the reality. That's why all this phenomenal world of form and consciousness have power over you and cause you to grasp, cling and suffer. All affliction arise here when you don't have the Dhamma, the understanding and the wisdom. For those who have, they will see clearly how from here it manifests into here. Then when you know that this is the one that creates all this, then you will learn how to seize this. When you seize this means you don't think. Think also like that, don't think also like that. Why are you going to create all this for what? That's why you meditate, awareness-based meditation, to silence this. Then you return from here through awareness-based meditation to your pure awareness nature. This is your true mind, your silent mind, your what they call tranquil, still, and the true mind. Yeah. So this true mind is the primordial, the first to arise from the source. When it arises, it is just pure awareness nature. It's not a being. It cannot move. No thought, no concept, no thought, and no activity of mind. Means no sankhara. It's just pure awareness nature. Then this is the one which we call it the true mind. The silent mind, the meditative mind, is without thought. That's why it's tranquil. It's still. With pure awareness within. That's why the inner peace, inner calmness and inner awareness and the inner tranquility of mind, stillness of mind, is your true mind. You must realize this. When you realize this, you can meditate from here. This will enable you to see things as they are, how this creation come about. Then from there, you will insight into phenomena and awaken. You can develop the right view. We are seeing things as they are. Suchness seeing, tathata. No more mundane seeing, no more deluded seeing. And all this is what meditation is. Through pure awareness, you develop the ability to meditate. That's why heedfulness is to return your mundane thinking, the mundane stirring and reaction, the habitual tendency, the movement, thought-based, back to awareness-based, to stay with your true mind. And this is what Huineng called the state of no thought, Wu Nian de Jing Jie. When you can be aware at this point, you are without thought. Then you are with your true mind, the silent mind, the meditative mind. And this one can develop wisdom, understanding. That's why with sati and samadhi, you can see things as they are. You can awaken. So meditation is about returning to this, developing the wisdom, then understanding all this, then allow the mundane mind to cease and to realize Nibbana, which is the unconditioned. And when you realize Nibbana, this pure awareness also ceases. No more. That's why when this pure awareness ceases, the being that went through that cessation, even for a glimpse, he will know profoundly what this nature is. This one is not a being. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's the original nature, the true nature, the oneness nature before creation. Yeah. So all this is to develop the understanding of how the stages of creation come about. And this is what the unique Dhamma code is all about. When you understand the unique Dhamma code, you understand this creation process, this movement. Okay? I hope today the sharing is a lot clearer. Eh? Okay, the next code, unique code 158. The title of this unique code is very good, The Art of Listening. Most people fail to understand the art of listening. Most people listen with the knowledge, with your views, opinion, conditioning and belief system. And you hold on to all these views, opinion, conditioning and belief system very strongly. So if you listen with that, then how can you develop wisdom and understanding? That one is deluded, mundane listening. There is no art of listening. What is the meaning of art of listening? You must know how to listen. Listen without prejudice. Listen without any knowledge from memory to come and interfere with what you listen. You just listen attentively. Then don't react, don't stir, don't create anything. Just silent, listen. It is the truth. It is something that is beyond your understanding. You will know. But if you listen with your views, opinion, conditioning and belief system and all your knowledge, then you will react to what you listen. You will make comparison, you will judge. That's why you will stir your mind. You will have right and wrong. You will have what they call craving. If that is something spoken that not in line with what you have as your views, opinion, conditioning, belief system and knowledge, then you will reject it. If it's along the same line, you get excited. You say, yeah, this is what I also believe to be the truth. But then, you never question what is memory, what is views, opinion, conditioning and belief system. Memory means accumulation of experiences, good and bad. And views, opinion, conditioning and belief system means what? What do you carry in your memory? Everything that you have accumulated as experiences, which include your fear, your phobia, your insecurity, your craving, your covetousness, your belief system, everything. And these are all negativity of mind state, especially your phobia, especially your fear, your sorrow, your lamentation, your insecurity, your deluded mind state, your emotion, everything, your jealousy, your hatred, emotional negativity, psychological memories. And when you hold on to all these, they are very negative with all the evil roots of greed, hatred and delusion. and you act according to this, means you act according to your desire, your selfishness, your views, your opinion, your belief system, your conditioning, your wrong view. And all this will cause karmic negativity. That's why these are what we call wrong thought. Thought that condition your suffering, your mental suffering, your fear, worry, anxiety, sorrow and lamentation. All these are wrong thoughts. And you listen according to memory to all your views, opinion, condition and belief system. You are not listening at all. You are being deluded, heedless. So, what is the art of listening? And now I read to you. Hopefully, you can develop the understanding. The art of listening, Unique Code 158. The art of listening is when you are attentively listening without thought. Can you listen without thought from your memory, from your views, opinion, conditioning and belief system? Just listen attentively. So if you can listen attentively without thought, that is true listening, the art of listening. When you listen without verbalization, without mental chattering, without any reaction from your knowledge and memory, which include your views, opinion, conditioning and belief system, that is the silent mind listening. That's why from the pure awareness, just listen, attentive. You just listen with an open mind. Means not influenced by views, opinion, conditioning and belief system and even your memories. Then whatever you listen, you can absorb very clearly. You will not prejudge. That's why when you don't prejudge, you will not verbalize. You will not chatter inside. You will not create all this movement of mind. Then whether it's the truth or not, you will understand. Then you will not prejudge. When you listen attentively, you will know. If it's the truth, you will rejoice, you will understand. But if it's not the truth, you will also not react. They are just the way they are. That's why that ability to listen attentively without all this thought movement or memories, conditioning and belief system is the art of listening. And this is the pure awareness, listening from that nature, silent mind without thought. When you can listen attentively without thought, that is the art of listening. So you try, give it a try. Then you understand. Otherwise, you keep on reacting. You keep on having your views, opinion, conditioning to come in to interfere. And your thought is very busy, heedless. When you develop it through mindfulness and heedfulness, you will have the understanding and you will rejoice. Because when you can listen attentively without thought movement, then you listen and develop the understanding as it is. If there is truth or something that is spoken beyond your understanding, you will know. Well, these are very beautiful description of truth that you have never understood or is new to you. Whatever you think you know is from your knowledge, your memory. And that is not wisdom. That's why wisdom comes from the direct seeing, the direct listening, the direct awakening. It's not from memory. So all the memory things are like reading old newspaper. These are all what they call news of the past, memory. They are not worth reading, where they are based on thought, knowledge. But living beings who don't have the mindfulness and the awareness, they cannot see the difference. Where they only have one instrument to listen, the instrument of thought. They are seldom with their pure awareness nature. So when you are most of the time at your forehead, you think from here. You think from the mundane thought process, triggering off here. And you are most of the time here, lost in thought. Busy, getting yourself afflicted and entangled within the phenomenal world of consciousness. Because everything like can lure you, can deceive you, can cause you a lot of excitement. And this is the one that condition living beings suffering and misery. All affliction arise from here. So without mindfulness and awareness, you cannot see all this, you cannot understand all this. You will be lost. And most living beings from here manifest into here very fast. That's why you are caught within the conditioned world. And this one to you is like very real. A lot of things happen. Of course, initially it will grasp your craving, your energy to become successful here, to become well known, to become wealthy. And this is the factor that lure you into this phenomenal world, where you think with the wealth, with the money, or with the success, it comes the good life and other things, not knowing that all this leads to craving, leads to suffering and misery. But to understand life and live life is not so easy. You must go back to here, develop the wisdom, then break free from all this entanglement, so that the phenomenal world of consciousness and form will have no power over you. They will collapse in front of your Dhamma understanding and wisdom. And when they don't have power over you, then you can understand life and you can live life, even though unreal, not what you think. But there is such thing as life, wonderful existence within life, when you realize all this understanding. That's why in the Heart Sutta is mentioned, Zhen Kong Miao Yu. When you have realized true emptiness, when you are here, you realize all these are not real, empty, not what you think, not a permanent, unchanging entity. He no you, he no me. Everything arises and passes away. A phenomenal world of consciousness. How real can consciousness be? Just arising moment to moment, just an image with its content within the thought process. And the next moment is gone. The next moment is gone. Split second it is gone. That's why the present moment awareness will let you see all this. The illusory world, the conditioned world, not what you think. There is no reality. Form and mind manifesting, following the karmic process and evolving. But when you have the understanding and the cultivation, then you can live beautifully inside there. And you know that the form and mind is karmically conditioned for you to come, a vehicle and a tool, not what you are. And this is not a permanent, unchanging entity. From this realization, then you can live. Once you understand clearly the secret of life, you know how to live life. Then life becomes meaningful, wonderful, amazing. And this is how, through the Dhamma awakening and understanding, the wonderful existent part can come to be, even though unreal, moment to moment, arise and pass. But there is such thing as life. You can live it. When you have the Dhamma, you don't suffer. You don't suffer means what? Means you understand the secret of life and you know how to live life. And you can live the noble life of enlightenment. When you have the noble life of enlightenment, means you have the Dhamma awakening, the wisdom. And from there, you live life without suffering. You understand all the movement. That's why you understand the law that governs life and existence, the secret of life. That it will not affect you, but you can develop and live life to the fullest. You can reach the pinnacle of your life. You can realize the pristine beauty and wonders of life, moment to moment, in pure awareness. You can experience them. The pristine beauty and wonder of life every moment, every instant. And that is possible. That is what Pativeda is, the third phase of Dhamma. The first phase of Dhamma is Pariyati, the learning of the teaching. Then when you put it to practice or cultivation, Patipati, then you awaken. After that, you live the life of a noble one, the enlightened one, Pativeda. And that phase is what wonderful existence is all about. The most beautiful. Maybe I write down the three phases of Dhamma. So number one is Pariyati. This one is the learning. Then Patipati. Then final one is Pativeda. I'm not sure about the spelling. So this one is wonderful existence, life of a noble one. So the three phases of Dhamma is very meaningful. In fact, you go to Brickfield Temple, their logo, they have these three words there. So first phase is the learning of the Dhamma, the teaching. The learning can be first turning, second turning. Then you put it into the practice. It's also first turning, second turning, and third turning. But this one includes third turning. Then when you fulfill the cultivation, you awaken. Then you can live the life of a noble one. Means living the life of a noble one is what the third phase of Dhamma is, Pativeda. Yeah. So when you understand all this, you will see the beauty of the Buddha's teaching. It's very profound and very unique. Okay? I think we can end here. Okay. Now we come back to the second session, which is either meditation reporting or Q&A session. You can ask me any question regarding the teaching, the meditation, or today's topic. Then we can have a formal discussion of what has been shared. Yes.
Yeah, but you, Mrs. Teo, and all Kalyanamitas.
Sadhu, yeah.
Sadhu, Brother Teo, for just now when you explained the Pariyati, Patipati, and Veda
Pativeda.
Yeah, it was so beautifully appreciated.
Oh, sadhu. Yeah, you can understand for you. Very good.
Maybe I would like to ask one question,
Can,
Brother.
yeah.
For those like who have a what glimpse of this through my
cessation.
through my first Brother.
Through my okay.
The second circle.
Yeah, second circle, yes.
For those who have the glimpse
of
or visualize in the through my the inner pure awareness nature. How to ask this? How to further stabilize it? When we further stabilize it, it'll become like to me like indirectly cling onto the pure awareness nature.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then, but to advise us, telling us, in order to realize the true nature or original nature, even the pure awareness nature
also cease.
Yes, but we are like for me lah, maybe I've grown to this awareness nature, like to me like grasping on the pure awareness nature already.
Oh, okay, okay. I will explain that.
How to
You,
see this pure awareness nature?
yeah, I will explain that. Yeah, for you, actually, you have a glimpse and you also have the understanding of what that thing is, but you have not stabilized the understanding. That's why you thought you cling. Because when you have developed it correctly, it is very beautiful. Maybe I explain it now. So you see, what happens is when you develop the awareness-based meditation, what you're supposed to do is relax. Remember? Maintain awareness. Maintain awareness means stay here. No thought. Just aware. Whatever arises, aware. Finish. Aware. Silent. Then by doing this, you are not thinking. That it will decondition the heedless thinking, the movement here. So when this movement slow down, where you don't give it any more of the habitual thinking, habitual reaction, this mundane thinking that has continued, developed through habitual tendency, they will slow down, slow down, slow down. Then when everything becomes very quiet, suddenly it's like you realize this pure awareness nature, the stillness, complete stillness. Sometimes it's a glimpse, very quiet inside there. Like no thought activity at all. And some people develop their fear. They thought without thought, they are dead. So that fear arises. Yeah. A lot of these are delusion. But for Eng Bee's case, it's different. She developed this pure awareness nature and realized it and understand it, but haven't stabilized it. When you haven't stabilized it, then you cannot actually see the movement. That movement. How from this pure awareness nature thought arise? You must stabilize it until you can see that movement. The thought arise from here. Whenever you try to know something or do something, the thought manifests. And it's all through the senses. Without the senses, this stirring and movement, arising of thought, cannot arise. So what happens is, when the cultivator of the way realizes this, that wisdom is very powerful. It will know that you have two minds. When you have two minds, you actually cannot cling, because you know these are independent movements. The mundane mind is a byproduct from that true mind. That's why Huining, the sixth patriarch, realized. He said how amazing is that our pure awareness nature, that true nature, is already perfect, nothing lacking. But yet, all Dhamma arises from here. Means what? This one is like what the Buddha said. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise. All creation starts. So this true nature that can see all this and arise all this understanding is the wisdom part. And through this you will know you have a pure awareness nature which is not a being. You have to realize that. Then you realize when you are here, like I use the analogy, without thought, who are you? You just stay there. Before the thought manifests, you try to understand who are you without thought. You cannot. Where there is no manifestation through the aggregate, you are actually nothing. That's why you cannot grasp on this one. This one is a nature, it's not a being. It cannot come out and live life. It's not like the mundane mind and the thought. So this part, for your case, Eng Bee, you have to stabilize this. Silent and don't try to know anything or do anything. Just allow the movement to take place naturally. Then you realize every moment of knowing, every moment of activity of mind is the movement from this pure awareness nature. See that clearly. And then there is no more thought telling you you are trying to cling to this pure awareness nature. No more. Yeah, that thought come about because you know this pure awareness nature is beautiful and you want to be here. And that one thing is in a form, a very subtle way of clinging. Actually, you no need to do anything. The moment Sankara stop, the thought stop, you are with the pure awareness nature. That's why I say, without thought, you are already aware. No need to do anything. No need to try to be here. No need to strive to be here. No need. You just silent and let all this cease. Once the thinking cease, you will realize this beautifully. Then it will stabilize. It will stabilize. Sometimes until no movement. Then even the heartbeat also no more. But the pure awareness is still there. Yeah. That stage, stay there for as long as you can. Because once you stay there, you will develop the clear understanding and stability of what this pure awareness is. It is not a being. You cannot grasp, you cannot cling, you cannot want to be there. The understanding is very important. The moment you are without thought, that nature manifests. In fact, that nature was there, primordial, all the while, whether got thought or no thought. But when thought arises, people get lost in thought. That's why they preoccupy this movement. But when you have the wisdom, you aware, finish. That movement cannot continue. Aware, finish. But you aware and allow this movement to move, then the thought manifests. Then you try to every time come back to here. No need. You just relax, maintain awareness. Then you will cease. Then you will come back. Then when it ceases, you stay here at the pure awareness nature and observe this movement until very, very clear. Yeah. I still remember in the early day, I was experimenting with all this. Well, when I realized this, then I stayed there. Then I saw the movement. The two are so near. The pure awareness nature and the thought, they are so close, so near. And the movement is very fast. Without sati, without awareness, without the pure awareness, you cannot see. You cannot understand. So this is a very good question, Eng Bee. It will help a lot of people, especially you. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, Brother Teo. Quite often, when I stay at the heart, at first the heartbeat is quite subtle, quite regular, quite subtle. And at times it cannot be detected. So that is how I understand as stabilize the pure awareness nature. When there is no more detection of heartbeat, but I'm fully.
Then what happened to that awareness nature? Well, that movement is still there, even though you are not able to detect the heartbeat. Then no thought, but the movement from there to the thought very fast. You must see that.
When there is no more detection of the heartbeat, just aware, there's nothing. There's like a...
Correct. The one that says there is nothing is a thought, understand or not? So that one is a very subtle appearance. And that is the inner voice that tell you, no thought. But the one that tell you there is no thought is a thought. So don't worry. see that movement, understand or not? That is the manifestation. Then the knowing everything, from there it manifests. So when it see it very clearly, that from there it manifests, then you understand that you have two minds. One is the mundane mind, the condition arising mind, the mano. That one is needed to live life. Without that, you cannot live life. So allow it to move, but see it clearly. Then when you are in that state of pure awareness, you no need to know anything. You just stabilize it and allow it to be. Then sometimes it can merge into the oneness nature. Suddenly, that pure awareness nature is without a center. That one is the next code. I think 159 or 160, I forgot already. So the pure awareness without a center is the spacious awareness. Then you will realize the oneness nature. The true nature, the oneness nature, before it ceases, it will manifest for you to understand. Because this one is actually what the source is. It is the whole spectrum of spacious awareness within the entire universe. But with the pure awareness, before the cessation, you can realize it. But the moment that pure awareness ceases, you return to the source or realize Nibbana, then all this word cease. Because here you cannot talk about it, no mind, nothing. But with the pure awareness nature, you can aware that pure awareness has moved from the heart into spacious awareness without a center. So when we are at the heart, especially the gateway or at the heartbeat, which is the gateway to our nature, where from there the pulse of life starts, then this, what they call anchoring, I don't call it dwelling, you anchor there, where you are with the pulse of life, the awareness of that movement, until it ceases. Then from there, that center will dissolve and become spacious awareness. When you can realize that spacious awareness, that is the next movement, the next level. Then you stay there. Then you experience the manifestation of this oneness nature. Your nature is one with everything, without a center. Then whatever you want to know, you can know, even how far, how distant it may be. It can be galaxy away or whatever. Within nature, you can develop the understanding and the awareness of it. That's why this oneness nature, when it arises, I remember in the year 1989, when I was at Cameron Highland retreat, I was sitting down there. Then suddenly this one, after the glimpse, this one manifests. Where this one came from my past cultivation. Then when I was in that state for quite a while, I think easily 1 hour or so, my nature becomes so different. I was so amazed that this thing is possible. It can arise. That's why after that, the Dhamma like fall back into place. Like I developed the understanding by itself. Then after that, whatever I come across, whether it's the book or what, if there is truth, my nature understand. Of course, partly after I went through that, the wisdom also expanded, and my past came back to me, and I inherited them. That's why the moment one connect, your past cultivation will come back to you. Then you will start developing all this understanding. So at the stage when you cannot hear your heartbeat or pulse, don't worry. just let it be. Sometimes it's because the awareness nature have not reached the level of what they call refinement for you to detect. It is still there, but very subtle, like there is no movement, but it is there. But as you continue to relax, silent everything, just don't want to know, just let things be. Then the movement, based on trust, let it move, let it develop, then it will transform. Then different people, they move differently, and different experience will manifest. So for that part, you have to stabilize all this understanding. So just let things be. Don't be curious inside there. Don't arise the thought to tell you that you still cling, because this is what the thought will tell you when you come out of the meditation. Then you still have the thought telling you that you still want to go back to that pure awareness state. But that is the thought. But when you do, like I explained, it has nothing to do with the thought. It's the understanding of it. The moment you are without thought, you are with that nature. You don't try to be there. You don't seek to be there. You just silence everything, then it manifests. When it manifests, you can do investigation. Without thought, who are you? You try. I remember I tried. Then I realized I cannot create anything without thought. It's like you are nothing. The word nothing is really precise. You are completely nothing. But no word, no thought, nothing. You cannot create anything. You are not a being. You are not an entity. No concept, no word, nothing. Then when you realize that, then you realize the true mind, the pure awareness nature is not a being. It's just a nature. And that nature, you cannot really talk about it or describe it. It's just a nature, like the karmic nature, just a nature. It's just aware. The only character or characteristic it has is just the pure awareness. That nature inside there, which is aware, finish. Then from there, all thought arise, all manifestation arise. That's why that one create the mundane mind. Mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chi. And from there, the movement very fast, because the two are very near each other. Where from that pure awareness nature, thought manifests. Because that pure awareness nature is actually within the living being. The first thing to arise is that. Then from there, over the period of conditioning since birth until now, we have been using the thought so rampantly until we forgot. Most people forgot that they have a pure mind, a true mind, the pure awareness nature. And to detect that is not easy. That's why your question is very appropriate. How do you develop the understanding of that pure awareness nature? That one very few people understand. Luckily you asked. So today I describe a lot more clearly, with more detail. So you listen to what I share again today. Then you will, I believe, develop the understanding and you can progress further and penetrate further. So the understanding is very important. Without thought, that nature arises. In fact, that nature is, like I call, primordial. It was there all the time, whether you have thought or you don't have thought. But without thought, it becomes very clear. It manifests become very clear. Like straight away you detect it. But when the thought arises, most people lost in thought, preoccupied with that movement. That's why I train you all in the awareness-based meditation. Relax means you don't think, you relax. then maintain awareness. Maintaining awareness is what you must do inside there. Just stay there and maintain the awareness for as long as you can until it stabilizes. Then the understanding will appear. Then you will see how from there, pure awareness, that mundane thinking or thought, the movement very fast. Then even the inquiry, without thought, who are you? That is a thought. But that thought is useful. It's like the Gong-an. You throw it out and find out. Then when you find out, you silence everything and you stay there. Then you realize without the arising of thought, you cannot create anything. That's why you will come to know precisely you are nothing. You are just that nature. And that nature is not a being. You are no one. So without thought, who are you? Nothing. No description, nothing. But don't be mistaken by the word nothing. Meditate, then become nothing. I meditate for what? So, when you are nothing, the truth is, you are everything. Understand? When you are nothing, you become the oneness. But before the oneness manifests for your pure awareness nature to understand, of course you cannot understand. But the deep meaning is, when you are nothing, you are everything actually. Because in that great void, that pure nature, you are the oneness nature. You are the embodiment of the whole existence. That's why all Sammasambuddha, they manifest from that nature. That's why they call it the source, the beginning of all things. Then the Mahayana call it the original nature. You know what is origination? Like the source. Before everything arises, original nature. 本来的面目, the true original nature. That is the description. But don't be curious about all this. When the thing arises and manifests, you will understand. That's why it's not something that you can develop the understanding through the thought process. You may try to develop it initially, but not important. More important is to go into the cultivation, to realize that. Then when it manifests, a lot of things will happen and you will develop the understanding on your own. Okay, Eng Bee?
Yeah, Brother Teo, maybe I take up 1 or 2 more minutes.
Can, no problem. No problem.
When I continue to relax into it, when I cannot detect the heartbeat or cannot feel any vibration in the body, I relax into it, and then at times it is quite often like I am fully relaxed, and then like the mouth part like a little open up, and then I feel like the whole chest area and throat and the throat and the chest like become empty, like everything is together, like hollow or something like that. But it's a kind of spacious inside the body.
I know. That one is very good. But what you should do is, you just like how to describe it? Like when you very tired, you let everything out. Understand? Like you are very tired. Then like you are dead. The word like you are dead is very important, so that no thought can arise. Even thought arise, you can have no control over it or movement over it, because you are dead, and a dead man cannot respond. The word is cannot respond. So when you feel that your throat, everything like together, simultaneously manifesting, you just relax further by letting go of everything, means the air or whatever. Then after that, silent completely, like you are dead. Then from there you see how the mundane arising of the thought, very subtle, very slow, it will move again. Yeah. Until you can be in that state without thought for a while. And then there is a beginning of true understanding. Well, when you are in that state of pure awareness, without thought, without vibration, without stirring, the nature understands a lot of things. But all this activity will come back very fast on, because the movement from there, it is like they are very near each other. From there, it moves out. Then the moment you are aware, you come back. Then you realize that movement is still ever ready to create the movement. But when you have the understanding ready, you can develop the understanding to relax and maintain awareness and let the nature move. And when the nature moves, the thought cannot come in to interfere. But when that nature is not in, I wouldn't say control, not doing the movement, then the thought will manifest. Because most people cannot be with the pure awareness for too long. And most people, when they have a glimpse, they don't know what that thing is. The glimpse of the pure awareness nature is very beautiful. That is the beginning of realization of what that nature is, that true mind is. Because suddenly you will realize everything becomes very quiet, very still. Then there is a sudden shift in consciousness, like from the noisy thought activity, it slow down. When it slow down, you will be aware. You will be aware that the Sankara movement all has slowed down. Then suddenly, when it completely stops, I used to use the word like ting, but no sound. It's like everything come to a standstill. And that standstill moment is the beginning of the realization of that pure awareness. And that is very beautiful. Then from there, most cultivators will be very surprised. What is that? The thought manifests again already. Yeah. Then when you stabilize it, that's why later on I recall, when I stabilize it, I can do the inquiry. Without thought, who am I? Completely silent, without thought manifesting. Then I realize no movement at all. No, I cannot create anything. No. Then I realize there is nothing. No being, nothing inside there. That's why you are nothing. The word Nothing is a precise description. You are not a being. You are not a thing. Without word, without concept, without description. That's why they talk about that nature, which is the unconditioned, without anything at all. Yeah. But the real cessation is where the transformation from the pure awareness to the realization of Nibbana. That's why in the Maya they use the word 不生不灭, means no arising, no ceasing, complete cessation. But they didn't add in the word. The pure awareness also ceases. Yeah. That is where they didn't make it clear there. They just say 不生不灭, means no arising and no ceasing, means completely without thought, without movement. But they don't know that when the realization of Nibbana occurs, even the pure awareness also ceases. Okay, Amy?
Yes. Sadhu.
Sadhu.
Rajyo.
Rejoice.
I will listen to it again.
You will listen to it again. Then you will develop better understanding. This
Thank
one
you
is
very
a
much.
very good question. Sadhu to you, Amy. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, today Alice Eng Bee asked a very good question. So at least it helped create the condition for all this to be explained. Then most of the Kemita who has developed the understanding and cultivation, a lot of them are near to what Eng Bee is trying to understand. So that part will help a lot of people. Always remember the understanding. Don't allow the thought to come back and create that what we call the very subtle understanding that the cultivator is still clinging to the pure awareness nature. That one is the thought. And the thought will manifest as long as the understanding has not stabilized. To stabilize the understanding, you will come to a point that you will understand. No need to do anything. Without thought, the pure awareness nature is there. In fact, the pure awareness nature was there all the time. Even got thought or no thought. And that one you will realize later. Then, as long as there is still that pure awareness nature, the cessation will never happen. But most cultivators, before even they go into that state of pure awareness nature, they will have a glimpse of the cessation, especially those who go through the sainthood way. When your Dhamma understanding has reached certain level, then it will manifest as a glimpse. Then the cessation later on will appear for longer period. But when you go through the cessation, your understanding will develop. Then as this cessation manifests more and more often later on, then the being that go through it will develop clear understanding of what the Dhamma is. Then from there, they will come out again to go the Bodhisattva way. And the Bodhisattva way, when you go to your nature, you illuminate your nature, all those things, then most of the time, you will stay at the pure awareness nature there, that nature. You will develop the third stage of Bodhi mind development. Bodhi mind that illuminate that nature. And that one take quite a while, long time, where you have to illuminate that nature. Initially, you only located the gateway and go in. Then a lot of things must happen inside there to transform and other things. Then only the nature slowly, bit by bit, open up, until that whole nature illuminate itself. Then it will develop a lot of penetrative understanding of what samsara is. Then you will understand that samsara is beautiful, not what people think. That's why he can go to the fourth stage of Bodhi mind that can renounce samsara. The moment you can renounce samsara means you know samsara is beautiful, no more a problem, no more an issue. It's for you to keep on manifesting and coming and develop all the wonderful understanding and realization. And to move into the third phase of Dhamma more and more. Okay, we share merits before it's too late. Akasata cha bhumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang adamodit jirang kantulo kasasana etawata jamehi padan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang me nyatinang hotu Sukhita hontu nyatayo Devo asatukalena Sasa sampati hetu cha Pito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko Imina punyang kamena Mame bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu Yawa nivana patiya Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. Okay, you can now pay respect mindfully to the Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Demi and Sadhu.
Dear brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, shall we put our palms together to say Sadhu 3 times together to Brother Teo and Mrs. Teo for coming all the way to share this profound, beautiful Dhamma with us by saying Sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Sadhu to Sister Sui for fetching Brother Teo and Mrs. Teo, for conducting the Zoom session and for doing the recordings. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Sadhu to Sister Eng Bee for the beautiful questions and the sharing. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu.
We also rejoice with the Tune family for providing such a conducive environment for Dhamma sharing. Sadhu, Sadhu.